You're tuned into Raw Brilliance with Mansa J. We got a live one for y'all today.
And we live, fam. What's going on, people? I'd like to welcome y'all back to an episode of Raw Brilliance. At a distance, you know, we still quarantining ourselves and stuff, but I got a very special guest with me today, Mr. J. Clem, Josh Clemons. You know what I mean? He got some new music out that he dropped yesterday, and hopefully a new project coming up. So we're gonna get into talking about the meaning behind it, the inspiration behind the new project and all that stuff, you know. But before we get into that, what's going on with you, man? You good? The family good? Everybody healthy, safe?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Family good. We healthy. Just working every day. You know, we were coined essential workers, so we got to work every day. But other than that, man, everything is lovely.
Everything straight. That's good to hear, man. Same over here. Shoot, just bored trying to get to it, man. I'm ready to get things like everything get back going. I got some stuff down the pipe, some projects coming up that I need everything to open back up so I can get started on them. But other than that, man, just trying to stay out the way, you know, staying inside, away from a bunch of people. But that's it, though. Yeah. But this new project that you just dropped yesterday, Change.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about that right there, and what made you finally decide to start back dropping music again?
Well, I've been doing music. Like I've always had like songs in my archives. I just was kind of skeptical of when I wanted to drop it, and honestly, I was helping a bro out. You know, well, not really like helping him out on like a artist type of level. Yeah. Or behind the scenes, you know, type of level. I was just kind of inspiring him and like encouraging him to put his project out. And I'm talking about Tommy Sketch.
Oh, for sure.
You know, once he put his album out and then I heard it for the first time, like I'm honestly like he inspired me to do music again. Even though I was already doing it, he kind of inspired me to actually put it out. Yeah. So moving forward, I wanted to wait, make sure his project came out, and there was a big enough gap in between his project coming out and me doing mine before I released mine, because I didn't want to take any shine away from my boy like that.
Oh, for sure. So are y'all like, are you on his project, on his album?
No, I'm not on his project at all, no.
Okay.
And that's not like, you know, I'm sure I probably could have if I wanted to, but he wants to, his first project.
Yeah, for sure.
His first project, he wanted to kind of let himself shine as an artist. I don't think he had any rap artists as a feature on that project at all.
That's the best way to be when you first jumping out the gate with your first project, because you pretty much telling the people, this is me, you know what I mean? Come check me out, you know? So exactly. I completely get that. Tommy Sketch out of Cali, out of Southern Cal, man.
Hey.
I'm gonna have to talk to him too and check out his project. I seen the artwork on it on IG. I think it might have been on your page when I seen it. But I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. But I definitely am though. I didn't even know he was.
Check that out, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely will. So, what inspired Change though?
Man, a lot of things inspired Change. But mostly it was I heard the beat originally, and I was like, man, this is insane. And most of the time when I write music, I'll play the beat and then I'll do the punch in method. Like I'll come up with something in my head. I'll if it sounds dope, I'll put it out there, or I'll record it and then I'll just kind of punch in from there. Yeah. But I knew when I came up with the title of the song exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And then I found the cover. And then it's crazy because the cover that y'all see wasn't the original cover that I originally came up with to post. The original cover was a piece of artwork because I just love art. I don't know why. but it was a piece of artwork of Cain killing Abel. And then I actually sent it to the bro, Tommy, to because, you know, all artwork of biblical characters is going to be all white. But I
For
sent him
sure.
I sent him the cover. I was like, hey, man, can you make them black? And then get his, you know, can you make them black? And he made them black, and then he put a fro on one of them. And I was like, okay, this is dope. I don't know did I send you the cover? I never sent you the cover, huh?
Not the old cover, the new one. Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to you.
All right, man.
I just felt like, you know, us being, you know, African American, like, you know, it's science, bro. We basically, civilization started in Africa. We know that for a fact, right?
Yeah.
So all these old time stories, all of these, you know, all of history, all these stories that we see in the Bible, they had to be black, bro. There's no other fucking explanation to it, right?
Well, shit, let's get into it then. Goddamn, jump right in, dive head first into it. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm going right behind you, goddamn.
With that being said, you know, with that story of Cain killing Abel, and it could be, you know, 100% true. It could be, you know, a fictional story. Either way, I like to use this story because it's symbolic to one brother killing another brother.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just feel like that has been going on for ages with our culture, with our people. And if you listen to the song, I talk about, you know, a lot of certain things. You know, I haven't changed one bit. A nigga still do the same shit. I'm addicted to it, can't quit. And it's like in our culture today, you see the same shit, bro. Like you see us killing each other, us not supporting each other, but we're so quick to go support everybody else. Mm-hmm. You see us addicted to drugs and food that's killing us and a bunch of other shit, bro. Like, I mean, the list is like long. So I wanted to make a song. In essence, it sounds like a song, like, oh, I'm getting hyped to this song, but the entire song is subliminal, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the bro texted me the other day and was like, you know, I changed changed, you know, because I had a previous song before, way back in the day, called Change, and you know, he was like, he thought I was speaking from my perspective, but I'm actually speaking from the perspective of the Black community, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of what inspired the song. Is I like making subliminal music to where you may think I'm talking about one thing, but if you dig deeper, you may find something else.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely feeling the track, and I'm feeling that meaning behind it, because we do have a serious problem. I believe it's getting better with the love and unity within the community.
I love that. I love it.
Yes, same here. Like, you see, like on Twitter and other social media platforms, where somebody Black does something good, they're, you know, shouting them out and building them up and getting the tweets up. Or if you see some type of injustice or something, they doing the tweets up, retweeting and reposting on different places. So it's cool. It's getting better, but we still do have a very big problem, you know, in hoods across America. But that has a lot to do with, you know, the conditions as well in those communities. Because when you step outside of those inner city communities, you know, like, you don't really get so much that Black on Black crime, for a lack of a better phrase, you know. So in the out, it's more of a regional thing. Like, you kill who you're around, like, you hurt who you're around, you're more likely to hurt your neighbor than go, you know, 5 blocks over.
It's territorial.
Yeah, exactly. It's territorial, but we still got to get out that mind state so we can improve the inner city hoods and like the hoods across America. We just got to get out of that mind state, because you're there. You might as well make it as best as you possibly can, you know, and as safe as you possibly can for the kids coming up, so they can go to school or play sports or play at the park or do what they want, like, freely, to be children, you know, and grow up and not have those problems that are passed down from generation to generation. You know, if we just take one generation to stop that going into the next one, you know, it's whole lot better, they Mansa is gonna automatically just be drastically different. But it's gonna take that one generation, you know, like to kick that off to really get it going in a major way. You know, it's been
Definitely.
baby steps here and there.
Definitely.
Yeah,
No, I
man.
agree.
Yeah. So, are you gonna be? Is that gonna be like a theme to like your album or something like that? Is there going to be an album? Are we finally gonna get a J. Clem album? You know,
Yeah. Yeah, it's for sure coming. Like I'm like, I would say 80% done. And then on certain songs, it's definitely a theme where you may think I'm talking about one thing and I'm talking about an entirely different thing. Like I have a song on there called On Gang. And the whole song, like until you actually break it down and listen to it, you're gonna think that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna just say what I'm talking about, forget it. But you know, I feel like in this song I feel like you know, a lot of people believe that, you know, to have a gang, you gotta be from like the streets or you gotta be from the hood. I'm changing the whole aspect of that. Like my gang is my family, you know what I mean? And I
Oh,
will
for
die
sure.
for any one of these niggas.
Yeah.
And it's like and I have that mentality. Like you know, I was a point in time where I used to fear death, but as of right now, like when it comes to my family, bro, I will die. I will lay niggas down to die for my family. Like you think it's a game, bro? You think hold up?
Oh man, don't go to the Arsenal, bro.
You think this is a
I've been
game,
hearing
bro?
about the Arsenal, bro. I've been hearing about them.
Playing, bro. I'm not playing. I will lay some niggas down for my family in the meet.
I already see that, man.
Okay,
And,
okay. Just saying, bro.
that's
But
what it should be, though.
I feel like they think only gang members is like that. You know what I mean? They think only gang members will be willing to kill a nigga for they like shit. White folks and the police do it every day. You know what I mean?
Still
And
happening.
you know what I mean? And you don't see people go and check them on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
or trying to pull a fucking thug card. Nigga, I ain't gotta be a thug. Like Pac said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Man, it's like, what do you think about all of the recent stuff that's going on? You know, all the recent killings. Yeah.
The Ahmaud Arbery.
You got Ahmaud Arbery, you got Sean Reed, you got Breonna Taylor. That is the most recent one.
The one I haven't been up on the Breonna Taylor, mainly because a lot of news I tend to refrain from, but I do know because I feel like they're using it to control us.
Using what to control us?
The news. A lot of these stuff. Yeah, I feel like they're doing things to see what our reaction will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's their way to gauge. Oh well, you know, this community they're docile. They're not gonna do anything. You know what I mean?
Like everything in TV is programmed. Like it's
Yeah.
TV programming for a reason. I know that's basic stuff, but people really don't understand how to a science they have. Every commercial, the color that you see on your screen, every pixel, like it's a science that you go to school.
Yeah. Definitely.
My dog went.
If they putting it on the screen, it's doing something to you. It's a purpose for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like with the one I am current on is the Ahmaud Arbery one. And I feel like my honest belief is, and then because I'm a concealed carry holder, I know I have a great feeling. I ain't gonna say I know, but I have a great feeling that them dudes is gonna get off. Now, from the outside looking in, it's gonna look just like, I mean, it's not gonna look just. It's gonna look like it was an injustice done, and it really was an injustice done. Like these dudes literally gunned down an innocent, unarmed black man for jogging. Now, because the lawyer released the video, their lawyer released the video, is because he knows the laws, and the laws state, and what you see on the video is him attacking them. And that is what's going to make them justified, because if you take that's why I encourage black men, black women, black whatever, to learn your laws, because there's certain things that you can and can't do that may get you killed. Yeah. And one of the things that they told us in this concealed carry class is that even if a person is literally about to come down and punch you, right, you have all right to pull out a gun and lay this dude down. And we'll win the case because you were just. And here's the thing.
But my whole thing to that is just to play devil's advocate, and I do agree with you though, because a lot of the times we know for a fact that the shit was messed up and they should be in jail.
It's fucked up. It's definitely fucked up. My heart goes out to the family.
Yeah, but that happens often and they get off, no trouble, no punishment. But the only thing I can say, I did see the video and he did like lunge at him, but it was after he was chased for blocks. Like it's witnesses saying like they chased him, like follow him. He tried to turn around and go away. He went back around and got back in front of him. So that's no longer standing your ground. That is seeking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. You're right on that one. You're right on. I didn't know that. I didn't know that bit of information.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 blocks. You know what I mean? Like,
so if they followed this dude and they antagonized him and they basically goaded him to attack them, then they're definitely
what it
wrong.
was.
They will go and they will go to jail for that. But
that's why they don't have a bail or a bond, you know, because it's witnesses saying that they were chasing them because they got them at other stoplights too. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the fucked up part about it is like it's so. The point you said about they just putting it out there to see our reaction, because this was 2 months ago and it's just now being leaked or whatever, just now coming out. And if it hadn't been leaked, we wouldn't have heard nothing about it. And then you got all this stuff that's happening, you know, in the White House. Going on
the coronavirus slowed the shit out of it, for real.
All that. They always have a distraction, you know, something that's going to just throw the people off the more serious thing. Like, let's just throw them a little thing to get them in uproar about that. That's going to make them forget about all the bullshit we doing overseas and the messed up plan. Did you see that press conference with the lady? She's, I guess, like his press secretary or whatever, Trump's press secretary. And, like, the reporter asked her, they were talking about like the plan, like to prepare for the pandemic, and she pulled out like this little thin piece of paper, like a packet, and was like, "This was the original one," and then she just like showed it up like it was like in a class presentation, said it, and got 2 new binders, and this is the new plan. We replaced that old plan with these 2 binders. Didn't open the binder. Didn't tell nobody what was in the binder. Just had 2 binders. Like, how stupid!
It could have been the same plan in both of them damn binders. We would have never known.
But we still don't know what's in them binders. It could be blank pages just sitting on there, nothing on there, bro. They wild for that, man. And that type of stuff right there, just like little things to let you know, like they do what they want to do, man. It ain't if they found out it was just blank pages in them books, what's gonna happen?
They're still not gonna care. Nobody. That's what I feel like. They've gotten humanity in America to the point where that we're so fucking desensitized to the fact that, like, you know, with all the games, the violent games, like everything, like we won't take anything serious. Even when the coronavirus first came out and
everybody was making jokes. Everybody was making memes. Everybody was flying them off, bro.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, how in the fuck, like, we don't care anymore. We became a society right now that just don't have any sympathy or love. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but for the majority of us, there's no more care, or there's no fear factor. Like, the bro sent me a video, bro, like maybe a week into the coronavirus, of a party in LA where niggas was turning up, like didn't give a shit about the social distancing thing. And here's the thing, I understand some people may think it's fake, but even if it is or if it isn't, you should still take precaution, because you don't know if it's fake or not. Somebody, like, that's why I read books like The Art of War or military strategy or shit like that, mainly because there are things like I could trick you just by saying, oh, it's fake, and you believe that it's fake, but it's actually real. I still got you either way. If it's fake, you in the house. If it's real, you're gonna die because you think it's fake and you out here playing. You see what I'm saying?
Like, when all this first started or whatever, I was kind of like confused to how I should feel about it, because on one hand, like you saying, everybody was making jokes about it. So I'm just like, and then I hadn't seen nobody yet that actually had it. Like, what does it do to you? Is it poison to your inside? Like, I didn't know then. So I was
Here's
a
what
little confused about it.
this what I believe it is. I believe that there's to some point there has to be, if this is fake and you're gonna be a conspiracy theorist, this is what it has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's either gotta be real, some strand of Ebola or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that will cause these symptoms to make it believable enough. My thing is, and then there's a lot of stuff I've seen on the internet of actual nurses coming out and saying that a lot of the patients that go in and get treated aren't getting treated correctly. Actually, during the beginning of the virus, they were treating them correctly. And a lot of people, because remember at the beginning of the virus, they were saying, oh yeah, you know, a lot of people get it, they don't get symptoms, nothing happens to them, and then this, you know. And then out of nowhere, weeks later or months later, they start saying, oh, well, you know, oh, it's killing motherfuckers left and right. Oh, this is just the most dangerous virus we've ever had. You know what I mean? So now all of a sudden, from a month prior, we had it under control to the point where, okay, you know, they were giving them the right steps so they can have a speedy recovery. And then now they're saying, oh, well, we don't know what to do. Now they're fucking appalled, and they're like, oh, shit. Oh, motherfuckers is dying left and right. And then you got these nurses coming out saying that, oh, well, we're actually mistreating them. And actually the medicines that we're giving them are actually having a reverse effect. Instead of healing them, it's actually killing them. Like, there's literally, you can find hundreds of videos of nurses coming out saying like, yo, we're committing murder. This is what is going on in the United States. And then it could be true, it couldn't be true. But the thing is, anything you listen to, you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you gotta know how to make that call judgment, your own self. You know what I mean? So
yeah, like that's the way I take everything. Though I don't believe really anything the government says, but it's always some truth in it. Like even in the lies, some truth in it. You know what I mean? So I take everything with a grain of salt, as you're saying. And back to what you were saying about the country not having empathy and like not taking it serious. I truly believe like your country reflects your leadership. And we are a country that put Donald Trump in office, whether you liked it or not. As a country, we did that. And that just reflects us, because you voted for him. Like that reflects who you are as a person. And now you see all this stuff going on in the news with the white supremacist groups, and they're going into courthouses with guns, and like just all this crazy stuff happening since he's been in office. It's just a reflection of us. And Donald Trump didn't really take it serious. He still doesn't wear masks all the time and stuff. And so if your leader isn't taking it serious, then why would the people who follow you? It's like on the basketball court. You as good as your best player.
Or why would you believe it even exists? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you believe it exists if this guy is not taking it serious? Then why, you know, is it serious? That's another question you got to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's really, but if you look at the numbers of the deaths, it's kind of just like the flu almost. Like
I know, it's crazy you said that. I looked that up like maybe a week ago. I was like, yeah, let me see what the flu deaths were last year.
Yeah,
and it's damn close to flu deaths.
Same type of numbers almost.
Exactly. So
age groups and everything.
And then you gotta take into account all of the stuff they're exaggerating, and they're saying, oh, this was a coronavirus death, when actually it was probably diabetes or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they're just upping up the numbers because, you know, in this country, you know, we live in a country where you can actually make money off of bad news via the stock market. You know what I mean? If I put a put option on the SPY, because I know it's gonna go down because of all the bad news is coming out, I'm gonna make money. There are people that made money back in March. They made millions of dollars because they knew.
Old boy's probably gonna be the first trillionaire. Even though I don't think he's the first, but he's gonna be the first trillionaire, like on record.
Who?
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, I did not hit. I'm gonna look that up as soon as we get off this live. But I feel like that shit is crazy because so many people can make money right now during this time if you knew anything about stocks and how to play the market and stuff like that. It's an open field right now. Like day traders, they dream of market crashes. I feel like it's the same reason we had one back in, what was that, 2008?
Yeah.
But
6, wasn't it? It was 2006.
8 or 6. Well, I don't know which one it was, but don't quote me on that. But I just, it's just so much shit going on right now, bro. It's just like people need to get prepared, period. Like, and it's not just black people, white people too. They need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Hispanic people need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up. It don't matter what race, color, or creed you are. There is something out there that is trying to get at us. They're trying to take rights away from us. They're trying to change. Because please believe, there are going to be some new ass fucking laws after this shit. Because they are really out here fucking doing unjust shit, unconstitutional shit.
Bro.
Like a motherfucker. Pulling motherfuckers out their homes.
For
like,
what? I ain't heard this. What happened?
Yeah, they are pulling people out in certain states. Their law, they initiated certain laws or statutes or whatever you want to call them to pull people out of their homes if they suspect they got the coronavirus just to get tested.
Really?
And they held a dude down and gave this dude a vaccine. We don't even have a vaccine. And they get
oh my God. This is crazy,
and
bro.
people believe in this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We
Like,
don't even got a vaccine.
There's cops telling people that their kids can't go next door to their neighbor to play with their neighbor's kids.
They're saying that you can't go to beaches.
I get it. And I get it. Like, I get it. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do. But at the same time, you're going to take people rights away trying to do that same shit. Like, what happened after 9/11?
It's
fucking Patriot Act. The Patriot Act happened.
Oh, yeah, true.
Now, when you go in the fucking airport, you damn near got to get fucking bone scanned just to get on.
It's like, but it's a catch-22 though, because it's like, if you look at other countries who did this and got over it and prepared the proper way, like they was in this shit for a month and then they was opening shit back up. And so it's like, if people in this country like actually stayed at home and follow orders, or if there was a plan in place prior to this before it hit the country hard, then I think like we need to get people to stay inside, or needed to, when it was big. And I understand them taking drastic measures is not the answer, but they needed people to stay inside. And also though, but the catch-22 part is exactly what you're saying. Like, the new rules are gonna come, new laws are gonna come.
Yeah,
and
new laws are gonna come.
It's inevitable. Anytime it's a crisis or something, Congress and the House or whatever, they take their opportunities to put their stamp on history. Like, they all want to make a name and try and have whatever law attached to it. They want more control. The powers that be are the ones that's really pulling the strings. Like, it feels like it's somebody else pulling, like the rich of the rich are there, like they're pulling this shit. Like, the Rothschild family members are pulling this shit. Like,
or somebody. Shit,
and if you think they ain't trillionaires already, y'all crazy.
Man, them niggas was trillionaires 70 years ago.
Man.
They was trillionaires during the first depression.
These niggas financed whole wars and put hella interest on that shit. Then they spread over and took over banking systems.
Both sides. These niggas
they control the banking in the U.S., don't they?
Bro, they control banking systems
all over the world.
In every country except for two. That's North Korea and Iran, which coincidentally we got issues with Iran. And Kim Jong-un ass is fucking laid
ain't
up.
Coincidence in this government. That shit crazy, bro. But I don't know. But what you think is next though? Like the next step to try and get this country to have more empathy, to try and get our communities together more. Like,
I think
black, white, or whatever, you know.
I think it starts with stop watching the fucking news. It starts. So I understand you might need to get some information, but I feel like if people generally stay out of the world news and what's going on over here, what's going on over there, and focus on their actual communities that they live in, then we can actually do something. But if we're looking outside of our own community all the time, like if I'm looking, oh, what the fuck is going on throughout the world, how in the fuck can I help the people that's right here next to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people that you are in reach to, you know what I mean, that you can help right now immediately. But, you know, I feel like, you know, because of social media and a lot of, you know, famous celebrities, and, you know, we watch them and we want to be like them. So we see them helping the world and we want to help the world. Yeah. But you don't understand. You're not Will Smith. You're not these people. You're not LeBron James. You can't do what they can do. You have to be that Will Smith, LeBron James in your own community. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where it should start. Like, I feel like it should start with, you got to cut the programming off, which is the media, the news, all that. And then you just need to start fucking going out and generally helping people. You need to go out in your community and be active.
Yeah. It's like I feel like you don't have to cut the news all the way out. You just have to find, like, go on the internet and find outlets that aren't biased, you know, like, and that's very hard to do. I know that, but there are outlets, or just find two of them from opposite sides that try and be as unbiased as possible, you know, like find two or three of them if you have to, and then go read and research. But see, that's the problem that I think in building a community, starting from community up, I think it is the right way to go. And that's what we need to do, because all the voting and stuff is not about the president. You know, like, we should have been knowing this, because everybody says it just every year, like, voting on your local level is so important, and we have to do that. And yeah, that's how it's going to start, though. But getting everybody to do it, getting everybody to read and research, that's going to be the situation.
Here's another thing. This is specifically for the Black community. I feel like Black, brown communities especially, your kids, man. Like, if you don't have kids, what you should be doing is attacking your goals, attacking what you're doing right now. You're doing what you feel like you're called to do. You know what I mean? Like, and you're on your purpose right now. But if you have kids, your purpose shouldn't be the forefront. Your family should be the forefront, because your kids are the next generation. You gotta understand the things, you know, is for the Black community, we are so far behind other communities is because we have grandparents that didn't make it past the 8th grade. Yeah. We have parents that didn't graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and you, we were the first ones, you know, coming up to go to college and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? In our families. Yeah. So we were at a disadvantage because, you know, prior, you know, our family didn't, you know, they couldn't help us with homework. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but now we are at that age where we have the ability to help our kids, because they are the future. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a lot in the community. You see a lot of, you know, mothers, you know, fathers not being present, or not paying attention to their kids, or we get, you know, we on social media, we get tied up on our phones, or we tied up on our goals and what we want to do. Yeah. But a lot of times, you know, there's certain things, your goals is going to be need to be second to your kids.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I completely echo that. And I don't have kids, but I'll try and do that, like, with my niece and nephews, like, once they come of age. But not even come of age, I'll be trying to get, you know, like, books for them and stuff, and save books and read different books to pass along to them. And I was just talking about this the other day, actually, on the podcast, about, like, the upbringing and not having those, like, I had both my parents, you know what I mean? But, like, my pops, he didn't teach me nothing. Like, we didn't go out and do anything together. Like, he ain't passed me no book along, or none of that. I remember. Could care less. Like, my mama loved her to death, but she wasn't focused. Like she wanted me to go to school. Of course, I had to go to school. I had to do that, but she wasn't checking homework. She didn't know if I did it or not. You know what I mean? And that's that gap. It took me a while to get like that school work ethic after I went back to school, you know, to finish and stuff. I had to like train my own brain, you know what I mean? But if that was instilled in me when I was a kid, it would have been a lot easier to learn and take in information and find find different study habits and want to learn out and seek knowledge. Like it came naturally for me, you know, after a while, because I was just, you know, I just always thought that I was supposed to do a certain thing or be somebody, you know what I mean, or like at least attempt to. So I never wanted to, you know, just hang around and get drunk and smoke. You know what I mean? Even if I failed at it, I was trying to do something. Like always, I just, you know. Stayed in.
And that's good, man. You gotta have that ambition. You gotta have that drive. Drive is gonna take people far in this life.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what I mean, just by and that's what a lot of the drugs is for. The drugs is there to take that from you.
Yeah.
They take that drive from you. They take that will to want to do something from you.
Yeah.
But you know, with me, it was my pops. You know, my mom, like, you know, bless her heart, man. She worked 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she did a lot for us. Like, she did a lot for us.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was at a disadvantage because my dad wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, you know, because my pops was not there and able to, you know, rear us all up as a family. So where we saw that good family structure, it put more weight on my mom than needed be. You know what I mean? Yeah, he paid child support, but also that's, you know, it's not just a money thing. It needs to be actual, you know, a good co-parent thing. You know what I mean? Like right now, I have a good co-parenting relationship with Aubrey's stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's definitely a necessity. I remember, you know, when my mom would have, you know, boyfriend or husband, and my dad would come get us, it was always some type of animosity. You know what I mean? It was always some like, damn, these niggas about to fire on each other. Like, what's going on?
I've been there plenty of times with mama and pops, goddamn, plenty of times.
Because it was just like some, like, we couldn't get, we just can't get past that, you know, whatever that is, that cloud that's hovering over us. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just be adults and like, hey, this is for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think with my pops, what helped me was he made me fucking read. Like, he literally made me Harry motherfucking Potter, bro. He was like 10 pages a day. If you don't, I'm whooping that ass. And that it was simple as that. You know, I literally had to read that book every day. And then after I just read just started off, I was just read 10 pages, just get it over with. Then the shit got good, and I'm like, oh shit, Harry, okay, Harry popping fly. So I would read a little more.
Yeah.
That, I feel like, because he did that, it also was a very big benefit to me. I mean, look, all these damn books I got.
Yeah.
Definitely a benefit to me to learn more, to want to learn more, to be intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
That right there was one thing I was low key like always envious of like even though Unc wasn't there, like he was on your ass though. Like he would be on your ass about school. Y'all would get whoopings for bad grades and shit. Yeah, come down. I ain't never got a whooping for a bad grade, bro. Like ever. Yeah. Like not even in trouble. I get like talking to like not nothing. Like
I used to get my ass slaughtered, bro. I couldn't sit down for days.
Yeah, man. I used to be envious of that. Like it's gonna sound stereotypical than a motherfucker, but I ain't really started getting into reading until like the first time I did like a little stint in jail. Like that time I was in there for like 3 months or whatever. And that was the first time I started reading. And then after that, it was like a landslide. Like I just started trying to pick up everything I possibly could, you know, just read. And then it helped me because I always wanted to be, you know, a writer for the most part. and it really started helping me. And I started seeing within my writing, you know, that it was improving a lot. And when I got back into college, like every professor I had told me, like, I need to start writing. Like, you need to start writing. Like, start writing. So that's when I started writing screenplays and stuff like that. But going to jail that time, it really changed a lot of shit because my grandma talked to me like right before she passed, and that really like got into my head. You know what I mean? And so I was pretty much trying to be on the straight and narrow and just read as much as possible, get as much information as I could, and then then I started getting into like African history and Black history and started reading them different books from those scholars and things. And yeah, it's very important your upbringing and like your parents and how they're raised, and that's why I be trying to talk, you know, to my sister about my niece and nephews and different things to do, and to
Yeah.
Juicy about different things to do or whatever. But I don't have kids, so you know they ain't really gonna take me.
No, but that's good. That's good that you do that because a lot of parents ain't going to admit, but we all need help. You know, we all fall short in some way or form.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
I ain't the perfect dad. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's certain times I don't, you know, I miss a text message, or I don't text, you know, Aubrey when I should,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't get Julian when I should. But I just you know, we fall short, and a lot of times we need uncles and aunties and stuff there to help pick that slack up for us. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all human. You know, we gonna make mistakes. Like, you know,
Like
go
that
ahead.
right there is what your pops and Uncle Alan and Uncle Mike and all of them were to me. Like they were
Yeah.
like I would see them or we would go stay with them in H-Town and just like have fun. I would see their houses and how they lived, and we'd get to go like wherever to Six Flags and like
Yeah,
do all
fucking
that, and or with Uncle Tony,
world, all
World and
that
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, you know, like that was the only time I got to really experience that. That was the only time I got to like see success and see like, you know, somebody actually doing it. Cause you know, being in Somerville, it's not much to look at. You don't see a lot of
Yeah.
Black people that's really doing it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was like those were my examples, my uncles and stuff. Those were my like who I looked up to and still look up to. You know what I mean? So that was it's very important, man. And that's what's gonna shape our community for the next generation is the kids. So we gotta feed them as much information as possible, have your own curriculums for them, you know, like your
Mhm.
own assignments for them, books for them to read, like your own history lessons, because you know they ain't getting all that in a public school if they are going to public school. And most times, even in a private school, they only get a certain type of history. So, and especially our little Black kids out there, like it's a lot of information on your African history that's not in these history books. And we ain't talking about these little years of slavery. That's a very small part of your history. And our kids need to know that, like, it's a blimp in our history. Like,
Exactly.
so,
It's there deliberately to kind of fucking disable us as a people. You know, if you just told you this is all you're supposed to be as a slave, then like shit, if like, you know, if I come from shit and that's what you're saying I am, then that's what I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell me I come from, you know, years and years of history in Egypt and in Ethiopia and in, you know, Timbuktu and stuff like that. A lot of people don't even
Mali, everywhere, man. You
a lot
got
of people don't even believe these places is in Africa. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you know, Egyptians were the father of medicine. You know what I mean? They fathered the whole medicine. Like, so it's like,
and like even before this new Egypt, you know, where the more light complected brothers and sisters got there or whatever, it was ruled by Kemet, which is, you know, pretty much like that time's Egypt. Like they
yeah,
battled each other many times, and most of the time Kemet, they would come out on top and they would rule Egypt. And it was like
yeah.
it was a lot of great
It's
architecture,
crazy. It's
science.
it's crazy. And like if you tell people over here that like, oh, you know, Kemet, you know, that's what Egypt used to be called.
Yeah, Kemet.
Actually means land of the black faces.
Mm.
And Kemet is actually where we get our word chemistry from.
Yeah,
Won't even, you know, it's crazy. They won't even. Oh, this motherfucker crazy. Oh, you trying to say black people fathered, you know, science or they did this. It's like it's to them. It's just appalled. It's appalling that a nigga can do some shit. You know what I mean? Like
do
if it
some
ain't
shit. We work
or
shit like.
entertaining. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they don't have the capacity or the mind to get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, I don't even listen to that, man. I be waiting on people to bring us some shit, especially like in a room like at like events and shit I be going to where usually like 1 to 3 black people off in there. I be waiting on shit to pop off, bro. Like I be waiting.
I'm the same way. I be
that
like,
shit is
saying that's stupid because
that shit is in the clip is ready, bro. Oh, what you say? Clack, 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 clack. And we just gonna fire the balls off. Like, that's what happened. Nah, that wasn't right. Nah. But tell my dude, man, he been going on for a little bit, about an hour, so we're gonna leave it right there, try and get the people to get more involved in your kids' lives, get more involved in your reading and building your mind and getting and feeding your brain with the right information and not just fake news or whatever news on the major outlets. Go research and do your thing. But
rise up.
But oh yeah, for sure. Get the folks your social media and stuff.
Mainly I normally do everything from my Instagrams, and you can pretty much find anything from that I want you to see from my Instagram, and that's gonna be C with Lemons. The letter C with WITH Lemons, LEMONS. So
top, and there you have it. That's Josh Clemons. Y'all know me, man. I'm Mansa J. Y'all can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or wherever at Mansa_JK. That's MANSA_JK. And like, subscribe, comment on the videos. I love your feedback, and I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. We out this thing.
All right.
One.